tell y'all some real shit, right? You know, I'm smart. You know, I got, you know, shit going on. I ain't no dummy. But I had to ask myself and like be real with myself, like, why are you putting up with a relationship that's not sustaining you? Like, as smart as you are, why? Like, I'm not understanding. You know better. You know better. So what the fuck is going on? And I really had to think about like the why of what was going on in my life. And when I looked at it and I thought about it, I'm like, so my father got murdered when I was 16, 17. And even before, you know, he got murdered, I love my dad, like, to death. But him and my mom wasn't together, and they were never married. So I didn't have, like, my father in the household. Yes, I seen my dad whenever I pretty much wanted to. But, again, he was one of those guys that was in the streets. So it wasn't like we was in this, you know, household where everybody loved on each other. So I ain't had no good role model as to what a loving relationship was like, and that's real talk, and not trying to bash my parents, because my parents loved me to death, like they did. But as far as being a role model for what a healthy relationship is like, no, I never had that. And only thing I seen is on TV of what a loving relationship would be like, and I always wanted that. I didn't want to have, you know, be just somebody person or in somebody's life just because. And I didn't want to be a baby mama. I wanted to be a wife. And so in reflecting back on my relationships, I understand why I was the way I was in those relationships, and why I stayed in those relationships even though I wasn't being sustained in those relationships. And the thing of it all is, this is why it's so important to do the necessary work on yourself before you try to get into a relationship, because if you don't, you'll keep on repeating the same cycles over and over, and you're never going to get out that cycle, no matter who you in a relationship with. And so for me, it was the fact that a couple of things. It was the fact that, one, I didn't have a role model for what a healthy relationship was. Two, I am, as a woman, I am naturally a helper. I naturally want to help my mate. I'm a naturally caring person as a woman, and I want to have a family. And also, another thing about the situation is me being me. If y'all follow me on Instagram, social media at all, you understand, like, my feelings toward the black community and my feeling toward black men and women loving on each other, and my understanding that the world treats our men harshly, and I didn't want to be a part of that problem for them. And so saying that I love you, I'm in this, like, I'm not gonna abandon you when shit ain't going right. But then to realize that it's not my job to help you if you're not willing to help yourself. And I didn't understand that. And so that's another reason why, you know, I stayed in that situation longer than I needed to be. And now that I'm understanding that, I forgive myself, because I was a good person, and I wanted to make it work, and I tried to make it work, and I just was trying to make it work with the wrong person. And so when you do the necessary work on yourself, you realize, like, your faults and your traumas and what you bring to the table and why you are the way you are in relationships. Once you get down to, like, oh damn, I didn't have a role model to tell me how a relationship is supposed to go, or I not that I didn't love myself enough, but I just didn't know how to love myself while also trying to love you and make you love me as much as I loved you, if that makes any sense to y'all. So it wasn't about changing myself. It was about recognizing about discernment. That's what it was about. Realizing who is who in your life. Are they here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime? And sometimes we mix those people up, real talk. And we trying to live lifetimes with people who are only supposed to be there for a season.